Wow, Nia. You guys kind of deserve it. I was called out for a mistake. With reactions correlating to such a gross act, I somehow found myself in front of a Dead by Daylight mob. I created a video showcasing my thought processes, begging killer mains to stay on killer, blocking my flashlight and dropping a bang in front of me. Wait, let's just see this clip first. When Myers picks up this guy, if he starts chasing us and we run away from the door, right? Both of us are getting f***ed. It goes from a 1K to a 3K. If you're so conscious of me blocking your flashlight, you should also know if you want me to go for the save while blinding him on the hook, I need to step in front of your flashlight again. And then as he's blind, no one could get the save. And then Nia, like the dummy she is, she stays at the front of the exit. At this point, I'm like, Nia's a dumbass. Begging killer mains to stay on killer, blocking my flashlight, dropping a bang in front of me, blinding me, saying we deserve it for going for went to CJ Tech. And the comments began flooding in, causing an eruption of controversy to unfold before me. From a mere mistake. Was I being unreasonable? Why was the community going after me? Is there anything that I could have done to prevent a situation like this? Well, from everything I knew about the Dead by Daylight community, no. See, this community is very combative. When certain players don't get what they want, they favor towards using various infamous tactics. When killers feel it's impossible to win a match, they resort to tunneling and camping, the act of trying to kill a survivor as fast as possible to try to gain a competitive advantage. When survivors become upset from not liking the killer, map, or teammate playstyle, they resort to suiciding on hook. Or, in my situation, intentionally going down to start drama over something they had complete control over. My controversy was a symptom caused by residual emotional trauma. These infamous tactics are often looked down upon on Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube. By shaming people who resort to doing these things, killers and or survivors alike feel guilty as a result of shame. Oh, I'm gonna get canceled on Twitter. Oh my god, all these people, they're gonna freaking do this and that. Which is a tool often used by the Dead by Daylight community to manipulate others to do what they want them to. In turn, is a means in order to remain in control. And in control of what? Basically trying to control how the other side reacts. Oh, I can make Coconut bend to my will by complaining. I'm gonna make him bend to my will whenever I want. They want you to apologize for making a mistake in a video game? No. It's gotten so bad that even the developers of Dead by Daylight were afraid to make changes in fear of community backlash. We make a point out of letting things settle before making rash decisions these days between PTB and live days. I'm burned out in the past by making rash decisions when the initial feedback was rough. Oh my god, can't wait for them to... So, what their opinion means don't mean shit. They're always gonna be negative. Make a decision, act on it, and don't be scared about the feedback. The way to make a good game is to make mistakes and then fix those mistakes. You have to be not afraid of making mistakes, and the development team are scared of their community, which is bad. Behavior tends to nerf killers. There has been a lot of disconnecting. People disconnect when they don't like a killer. Every single time someone got a spirit, they disconnect. And people disconnect so much of spirit that she got nerfed. And they also did this with Legion and Freddy. Oldspring's mixtape with Legion allowed Legion to actually down people in the frenzy by walking backwards. Freddy had add-ons that made gens feel like molasses, and it just wasn't really fun to verse. So what did people do? People disconnected. People left their games. If there's a sense of dissatisfaction in the community, the behavior tends to act. And I believe this slowly conditioned the community to feeling like they can control developer design decisions. Tinfoil DbD conspiracy of the day. Some people are dying prematurely on Hook to manipulate the stats and convince the devs to walk back on changes. Although the majority of the comments on that YouTube video are basically people saying that they like the patch, there is an increased surge of people disconnecting and suiciding on Hook to the point where every single game that you play, you can't escape someone disconnecting. Even though many players deem this as the best Dead by Daylight had been for a long time. Disconnecting had become a part of Dead by Daylight culture. If there was something you didn't like, you just disconnect or suicide on Hook. After all, the disconnect penalty is only a mere 1 minute. 1 point is insignificant. 2, 3, 4 points that correlate to actions between the Dead by Daylight community. Survivors disconnect en masse versus Nurse. Nurse gets nerfed. Freddy gets nerfed. Spirit gets nerfed. 39 meta perks get reworked, and survivors disconnect en masse. Many become worried and believe the new wave of disconnects are a manipulation tactic to revert particular perk nerfs and or buffs, a means to manipulate the stats to make it seem like things are worse than they actually are. Because according to the statistics, these are how things are changed in Dead by Daylight.
Will Object of Obsession get a rework or a change?
So I went and took a look at the recent statistics on this thing. It's not used very often, and the survivors that use it don't have a particularly high escape rate. It's something that we'll probably leave as it is, unless I see some statistics that lead me to believe that there's a deep problem with it.
I'd like to take a brief moment to thank the sponsor of this video, Clash Royale. This is a game I used to play in band class with my friends in high school, when I just wanted to have some fun tinkering on my phone. So I'm very happy that Supercell is sponsoring this video. Clash Royale is a real-time multiplayer game starring the Royales, Clash characters, and much, much more. Collect and upgrade dozens of cards featuring the Clash of Clans troops, spells, and defenses. That is also a game that I played with my friends, where my own little niche group of friends made our own little clan and raided random people all the time, with the Royales such as princes, knights, baby dragons, and more. Knock the enemy king and princesses from their towers to defeat your opponents and win trophies, crowns, and glory in the arena. I have very fond memories playing this game in the past, and if you guys would like to check it out, a link to the game is in the description down below. So I'd like to thank Supercell with Clash Royale for helping make videos like these possible. Thank you. According to the official Dead by Daylight Wikipedia page, Object of Obsession was a controversial perk often used by one survivor and a survivor friends to stake out and relay the killer's actions and location to their fellow teammates while keeping distance, never catching survivors and getting 4-man outed every game.
And since my statistics tell me that people running it don't escape that often, I'm inclined to think that it's a perception issue more than an issue with the perk itself. Because the complaints on the forum aren't that the thing is underpowered, it's that it's overpowered.
Yeah, oftentimes it's not even just about the escape rate or the kill rate, it's about, is it fun to play against? But if picking it makes it so that it's frustrating, then it probably needs to at least be looked at.
By making a mistake, I was condemned for not playing perfectly. In a selfish statement correlated in the root of me, when all I was thinking about was us. Both of us are getting f***ed. We run away from the door. I'm gonna try to blind him while he's hooking so that Nia can slip behind and get an unhook play off. I made someone upset. Therefore, they tried to crucify me on Twitter, trying to get me to apologize. Oh, please don't hurt me with your Twitter follow me. You're never wrong. I told my side of the story, my reasons for every move. And yeah, I don't see how you go down here. At this point, I'm like, Nia's a dumbass. And even admit to some of my mistakes. Yo, I stepped in front of your flashbang. I f***ed up once. And I believe a lot of the community's problems are related to the notion of always wanting to get what they want.
Explain to me how that f***ing retard just hit that!
Nice.
Explain to me. What the f*** was that?
Okay.
There's a f***ing pool right in front of my goddamn
Oh my god. In a world where killers face off against survivors, and one side always gets what they want, the game would be dead. Who would want to play a game where they always lose? Where the other side always wants to win, and thus always does. One side always gets what they want, they always win. Other side always loses, lose players, game dies. Fundamentally, there is something wrong between the relationship of community to community and community to developer.
I'm burned out in the past by making rash decisions when the initial feedback was rough.
And here I have to ask, what can we do? Does the community just need to change in order to try to make the game a less toxic environment? Can the developers make changes that can cultivate a less toxic experience? I made a tweet a long time ago asking if it was possible to remove toxicity from Dead by Daylight. The result of that poll was people thinking it was impossible. Regardless, I made it one of my goals. I was going to give it a go. And this is the video showing a root cause to a source of toxicity. I've done everything I can thus far, so I'd like to say
there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.